He's about to hate on my boys, so let's get it started with my boys, the Clippers, who won Game 1 against the Mavericks last night, but it wasn't easy. Luka Doncic scored 42 points in the NBA record in the postseason debut, but the drama went down in the third quarter. Kristaps Porzingis was ejected for getting involved in the Doncic and Marcus Morris's altercation. At the time, the Mavs were up by 5. Clippers then outscored them 52-39 for the win. After the game, a few A-listers were upset about the Porzingis ejection. LeBron James tweeted, "Man, that was bogus as hell, man. Come on, man." Former Mavericks great Dirk Nowitzki, he tweeted, "That ejection is super soft." Even Patrick Mahomes got into it, tweeting, half a Billy talking about, "That's trash, man." So, Acho, did the Clippers look like a championship-level team last night? Yes? Okay, moving on.
No, bro, and even you know they didn't. Now, look, I'm born and raised in Dallas, so I'm a resident Mavericks fan when it comes down to it. That's my fallback. Outside of a LeBron fan, I'm a Mavs fan. I seen that game, bro, and I said, okay, Marcellus told me that the Clippers, they aren't regular season. They're not a regular season team.
Nah.
So the Clippers going to turn it on come to playoffs.
Yeah.
That's what Marcellus told me. I believe big bro. That's what I do.
That's what you do.
Clippers come out. It's 18-2, 18-2 run.
18-2.
I'm like, yo, Marcellus was right. Marcellus has never lied to me.
Nope, haven't. Still won't.
But then, hold up. But then the Mavericks went on a 48 to 18-point run. Mavericks had the game in control. The 7-seed Mavericks. So I'm thinking to myself, wait a second. Maybe Marcellus had lied to me this whole time. Clippers supposed to look like a championship team, and they was about to lose to the 7-seed Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, the Dallas Mavericks got Luka dog. But these Clippers, who have the best combo wings the game has ever seen since Jordan and Pippen, the best combo wings the game has ever seen since LeBron and D-Wade. The Clippers got Paul George. The Clippers got Kawhi. They couldn't do nothing to stop Luka. So did they look like a championship team? Not the same Clippers team that would have lost if Porzingis wouldn't have got ejected. They know they ain't look like a championship team. And I don't want to hear no bias come out your mouth either.
Oh, man. Might get that LASIK surgery. Might need that, big dog. Because I don't think you know what a championship team looks like. Yes, the Clippers look like a championship-level team.
I can't wait for this.
You know,
I can't wait for this.
I don't lead with feelings.
You don't lead with nonsense.
I don't. I lead with these facts. And you millennials are funny to me because y'all love results, but y'all hate the process. Y'all care about how it looks more than how it was made and how it really is. So I want to let everyone know that the Clippers last night did what a lot of champions do. They struggle in the first series. Let's talk about this first series because last year there was a team that won a championship. Since you watch basketball, that was the name of Toronto Raptors, correct? Toronto Raptors went out there and found themselves in a series, down. What? Did the Raptors trail 0-1 in the first round? You mean the NBA champs can actually lose the first game of the first series and still wear the crown? Yes. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how they were also down 2 in the semis and in the conference championship and still won the championship. But you know me, I'm a full screen king, so I really want to kill you. When you're down, I stomp on you. Let's look at the last 10 NBA champs first round results, shall we? Oh, wow. By the math, over half of these teams actually lost the game in the first round and still won the championship. We ain't even lose, and you up here saying we don't look like a championship team. Retort.
Bro, you said that the Clippers, they capitalize like championship teams do. The Clippers capitalized off poor refereeing. That's what happened.
That's what we're doing?
No, that's not what we're doing. It's a fact. What we're doing is telling the truth.
Is that the third team?
What we're doing is telling the truth. Think about this, bro.
Team?
Think about this. Think about this. The Clippers were down by 6 before Porzingis gets ejected. Porzingis gets ejected. They immediately go on a 16-5 run. The Clippers, bro, when they're trailing by 4 going into the fourth quarter, Sir Marcellus, they've lost their last 8 games. So if you beat them going into the fourth, you essentially have beat them. Not my opinion. Statistical, empirical data supports that information. But when your second best player gets ejected for trying to stand up for the leader, for trying to stand up for the young bull, and you get thrown out, it wasn't even a fair fight. And while still not being a fair fight, your Clippers didn't even dominate the matchup. Just call a spade a spade. They didn't look like a championship team. Did they get the win? Yeah, I'm not taking that from them. Did they get the win? They did that.
Okay.
But did they look like a championship team while doing it? Nah.
Won't we alter what you think a championship team looks like? Because I gave you last year's champion, that actually lost the first game. We didn't lose that, but you'd say that's not a champion. Then I gave you the last 10 years and talked about over half of them have lost in the first round, but you didn't want to go there. So now let's talk about over the last 17 years when they first started to go to a 7-round first round series, 7-game first round series. You know how many of those teams in those 17 years actually lost a game in that series? 13 of them. That's 76%, brother. You want to do some math? You want to keep killing me with stats? Then we want to talk about how many of them lost 2 games in that same series. Over a third of them. We haven't even lost yet. This is the first time in the bubble that we had every single player active and ready to go. And now you're going to use we struggled against a team that can shoot
let me tell you,
against us.
Your best argument is your first sentence. Your best argument was your first
You're
sentence.
millennial?
No, what's the championship team look like? The only way to say the Clippers look like a championship team is if you want to grade on a curve. Because as I was looking about it and talking to the producers this morning, I said, you know what? The only argument Marcellus has is if you grade on a curving scale. You know in school when you get a C, but everybody else got a C, so your teacher go ahead and bump you up to an A-. That's what's really going down. Look at the West. Lakers don't look like a championship team. Trailblazers, they've won their last 4 games by 1 possession. They don't look like a championship team. Rockets don't look like a championship team. Thunder don't look like a championship team. So the only argument you have is that, you know what? Nobody else really looks like a championship team. Well, you want to go to the East. Sixers don't look like a championship team. Pacers don't look like a championship team. Only team that looks like a championship team is the Raptors. That's your only defense is to say you want to grade on a curve. That's literally the only argument you have.
Is your optic nerve connecting to your brain to tell you, oh, what I see is a championship team and that's the way it is? Or are you going to use evidence? You're going to actually use what these teams have done in the course of winning the championship, the marathon that you must run to win a championship.
Y'all never started running. You told me you was going to start in the playoffs.
Did we win? Is that the case for all teams yesterday? No, we took care of business. What's the ultimate goal? You always tell me.
To win.
But now we get into a complexion argument
about
about
championship team, though. The question was not, did the Clippers win last night? The question was, you read the question.
Yes.
Did the Clippers look like a championship-level team?
Absolutely. When you have your dynamic duo giving you what, 29, 27?
29-27.
And then you just got Marcus Morris just sitting there like...
He got you buckets, 19.
And he's sitting there with Montrez, sitting there with Lou Williams. That's our tier 2. Then we got tier 3 when Pat Bev could kick in, Zubac could kick in. That's the thing. This team is a team that is about a war of attrition. You keep thinking about a peak performance team, like the Lakers, dynamic duo, and then we got to pray and hope after that. The Clippers are like, look, we're going to wear you down. We understand. And even in a wear-down performance like last night, they still went out there and won and took care of business.